What is up, YouTube? It has been quite a while since I've done a gun video. I decided to go ahead and kind of outline some of the stuff I've been doing lately. This is more for historical purposes. I got a 100% matching parts kit. This is a Tula AKM, 1974. I got another Izmash. I think that one's a 1968. I don't remember off the top of my head. Again, 100% numbers matching, everything matching on both of these kits. I'm going to do a few different things here, and then finally following that, I got a 1976 Russian Mullet RPK kit, 100% matching on that too. So I'm going to be putting these together, just kind of showing the stamp marks of everything that should be for those era of kits, numbers matching. There's a lot of various information for various years, various models. For somebody like me who isn't an expert on AK variations, this type of video would have been super helpful for me to see, as I was kind of looking at the different kits available and where to look for different stampings and proof marks, etc. So anyway, stay tuned and we'll take a closer look at each one of these parts. Let's jump right into it here. For those who don't know, such as myself about 2 weeks ago, the difference between a Tula and an Izzy is a Tula has a star right here, and an Izzy has a triangle with an arrow kind of pointing up on the middle of it. Those are the two main factories that produced AKs throughout the years, and there's some variances between the two. So Izzy's are generally accepted to be cleaner builds, cleaner tooling marks throughout, and have much fewer proof marks. So a proof mark is just kind of like an inspection mark. As things were getting produced, you can see there's several up in here. And Tula, I guess the Tula factory has quite a few more proof marks than what you would expect to see on an Izzy. You can see there here. So we'll just go ahead and get this out of the way. The first serial number that matches here, so we can put it to the side here. You can see here, 893. We don't know what that is. Matches 893. So if you are looking for a kit, getting a 100% matching kit is going to be quite a bit more expensive because it's pretty common for a gun to be re-arsenaled, meaning maybe it went through service and they needed to fix or replace a component. They'll take it out, throw it to the side, put a new one on, or as they were demilling these, it was very common to kind of get pieces and parts mixed up with the various kits. So getting one that's 100% matching, such as this one, is going to be more difficult to find and more expensive. I was planning on getting this kit for myself, my collection, for my kids, and to hand down whenever I'm no longer here. So kind of wanted to get something that was nice, just as a collector's piece, but also something that would be worth something whenever I hand it down. Looking at the receiver here, you can see the torch cuts are pretty well done. I've actually been speaking with a person on one of the forums online, and he goes by AK John. I think his company's Appalachian Mountain Firearms or something like that. I don't remember what the company name is. He is going to re-weld the receiver here. It's not normally something that people that have stamped receivers will do. Typically, you'll only see a re-weld on a milled receiver. It's uncommon to do it on a stamped receiver. It's a lot harder, thinner material. I guess the metal that was used on these is questionable metallurgy. So all of those combined, there's few people who actually do re-welds and do it right, from what I've been reading online. That being said, Tula receivers typically have different spot welds, and they're messier and they're in different places than what some of the American-made reproduction receivers are available. With all that said, I decided to go ahead and get this one re-welded, send it off to him. He's going to get it looking close to new. Another reason why I wanted to keep this is just to be historically accurate, but if you look on the back here, you can see some proof marks also on the receiver, which would have been lost had I just gotten a US replacement piece here. So the goal of this video is just to kind of highlight some of the areas that some of the members on the AK forums told me, where to look for proof marks, seeing if they're there, yada, yada, yada. All this was new to me, like I said, so this is more for historical and documentation purposes than anything else. So we'll go ahead and get the receiver out of the way. Like I showed you here, there's the proof marks on the back. Another way to tell a Tula versus an Izzy is the rear trunnion. Izzy will have kind of a larger opening right here, whereas the Tula looks more like this. You can see there's more proof marks up in here as well from this one. So the rivets all original, you can see. Trigger guard, middle receiver. This hole is actually obviously needs to be re-welded up once the receiver is put back into service. That's the third pin, which is a no-no if you don't have an SOT. So that will be totally closed up. There is a proof mark. Might be kind of hard to see, but it is a partial right above my fingernail right there. Looks like it was a partial triangle. Other than that, you can see the spot welds on the receiver, just kind of messy. Apparently these markings and the hash marks for the safety lever are different on the Tula versus the Izzy as well. There is, kind of hard to get here, there is a, and the spring is really tight, there is a proof mark on the inside of that lever for the mag release lever. There's a proof mark in there too. Already kind of showed the front trunnion a little bit, but we'll get a little closer look here. 1974. You can see the proof marks up here. And one thing that I also found out in the last few weeks is that all of these numbers were actually placed whenever this metal was still not fully cooled. So as it was coming off, hot, they would kind of roll punch it into there as the metal was still malleable. So you can see there's going to be inconsistencies in depth and feel of these numbers as you look at the various ones. If you see one that looks too perfect, it might have been a kind of a scratch off and reproduction serial number to kind of force match stuff. You can see they mark up in here in the front trunnion. This is a half of a number 3. This corresponds to the size of barrel that would be needed to match into the front trunnion here. You can see again the rough tooling marks on the front trunnion are going to be more rough than what you see on the Izzy. The Tula has a dash in between these two numbers. Izzy, I believe, has like a backslash. So that's something that you can look for if you're looking for a Tula versus an Izzy handguard. There's also a proof mark on the nut right there. You can kind of see it. That's the only one I was able to find on that. Another thing that's cool about these later year kits is the wood actually does have proof marks put in. Let me see if I could see some here. So there's number 7, looks like, right there. Then it looks like a 52 right up there. Moving down, there's 4 more right here. Looks like a circle, triangle, an X inside of a trapezoid or square or something. Another triangle right there. Again, just showing off this kit and all the markings and everything it has. Another thing to look for if you're trying to figure out if your kit's a Tula or Izzy, or if the part you're looking at. I guess Tula commonly had a much messier grid pattern up here, whereas in Izzy's almost perfect. You could see 893 again, matching original safety. Here's the cleaning rod, just standard cleaning rod. This has the close hanger style recoil spring. 893. Proof mark there, and there's a number 11 on the inside there. You can see it. Looking at the front handguard now, gas tube. $8.93. No other proof marks that I could see on any of the metal anywhere on the handguard, or on the gas tube. There is one right up in there. Looks like a part of a triangle. And something that's kind of cool that somebody mentioned about these getting the proof marks on the actual wood is that you know that these were put on the firearm right there on the assembly line. So it's kind of cool that knowing that these were with the firearm the whole life of it until it got demilled. Something to note, the later year AKMs no longer had the serial number on the handguard here. Some of the earlier years did. You can see this one has some markings on it. A little bit of wear damage on it, but not too bad. Other than that, it looks great. So, if you look here, there's a hardness testing mark right up there, which you might see throughout, just aligned to make sure the metal's hard enough. Looks like there might be a proof mark right up in there, but I can't really tell if it was or just a ding or not. A lot of them you'll see some proof marks on the lever here, maybe right at the pivot point right up here. But this one does not appear to have any of those. Again, just kind of documenting everything for myself in the future. And when I first saw this dust cover, I saw the number up here. And I thought, oh man, it's kind of like a forced match number. A lot of times you'll see the serial number kind of stamped in the back right here. Or re-arsenaled, you'll see some X's and then replaced with the serial number up here. But this was actually done with the machine on the later years, even though it doesn't look super uniform. But I guess it's kind of a cool feature on these later year AKMs to have this on there. Getting to the carrier and bolt, you could see again serial number matches. Just kind of looking, the rough tooling marks again, you can see. Just kind of cool to, know what you're holding here. Bolt, TH 7893. Looks like it's in great shape. And then something that I had no idea was different, but I guess the teeth on the sight leaf are on the opposite side of these lighter year ones. You could see there's no real proof marks on the leaf in here. A lot of the earlier ones will have a serial number on the inside. They stopped doing that in the later years. You can see there's a proof mark on the back of the leaf right there. And I guess the Tula and Izzy's have different dimple sizes for right here as well, which I didn't know. I don't know how accurate that is, but there it is. You can see there's some tooling marks again up there. Little partial proof mark. Just a cool piece of history here. Okay, getting into some of the smaller parts. Let me move some of these over here into the view. So there are still some pins and stuff that I'm not going to be showing, but one thing one of the members on the AK forum noted is that the blunt end of these screws, I don't know if that's specific to the later years, I have no idea, but after he mentioned it, I kind of started looking at it. I don't see that very often. But there's the furniture screws. Here's the slant brake. So you can't see it too well here, but there's a semicircle proof mark stamped at the base of this little indentation right here. I'll post a picture of a better angle of it so you can see it. Slant brake. Got the cast Tula gas block. You can see a little mark in there. Looks like there's another hardness test and a proof mark right there. Other than that, just plain Jane gas block. Front sight block. Another hardness test up there. There's just some of the internal components, trigger components. You can see some tooling marks, proof marks. Trigger. More proof marks. You can see down there. And the hammer. Got some proof marks on it. But anyway, there's kind of a quick overview. I don't know about quick. there's an overview of all my components that came in this 100% matching 1974 Tula AKM kit. It will be getting built up here shortly. It's going to have a Rami G virgin original Rami G barrel I'm going to get put in. Closest thing you can get currently. And even those are hard to find. But anyway, if you'd like to see more of these types of videos as I'm kind of getting into this part of firearm collecting, let me know and I'll be more than willing to put them up. Thanks for watching. Hope you're having a great day.